trying to get the link out there because that's been something that's been a problem before.
That should work. Let's test that out.
Testing.
Lovely.
This season has some nice shows.
Did you see I see Mel Gibson is back in the movies again after disappearing for a long time.
Oh, I thought his career was dead permanently.
Oh yeah, but he was in that what the hell was that with the dads movie? Like, because John Lithgow is one of the dads, like, in it too. Like, he's like the granddad or whatever. What the hell was that called? I that was the last thing I saw him in. It was something where it's the two guys and then it's their dads.
I know what you're talking
I can't think of the name of it.
Neither can I.
I don't really follow American movies, which sounds like just like a snobby thing to say, but because we don't.
No, I don't either. It's just I saw the.
I don't either.
I saw the commercial for it, and it's just like, what the hell? Did we let Mel Gibson off the hook? I mean, does everybody just like, I really like Lethal Weapon or Mad Max, so.
Maybe they wanted to get attention off the Harvey Weinstein situation, so they're like, you know what? Let's get Mel Gibson back.
Let's bring Mel Gibson back.
Let's throw Gibson under the bus again.
Yeah. Holy shit. Well, I mean, it was weird because whenever it was 2006 or whatever, he got caught driving like 90 through a 40, and they pulled him over and then grabbed him out of there, and he's yelling a bunch of anti-Semitic crap. And I guess while they're putting him in the squad car. I don't know. But after that, I thought for sure he was done because, I mean, he lives in Australia still, doesn't he?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, something like that. And then he just kind of disappeared for a while because he's got enough of his own money to just make his own movies and crap. So it's not like he's just going to disappear forever.
Hey, that would be like the dream for everyone. It's like, I have enough money, just make whatever.
We usually call that fuck you money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my own.
A good example of somebody who has fuck you money is Notch.
I'm gonna make my own anime. I don't need you people anymore. I'm just gonna make.
Or even Donald Trump, for that matter.
I don't know. Does he even have fuck you money, or hasn't he declared? When you declare bankruptcy that many times, do you no longer? I'm not quite sure how that works.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure he has fuck you assets.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, I have this retractable gear helicopter.
If I sell a single thing I own, I'm back in the black. Let's go.
No, sorry.
All right, let's get started.
Yeah, that's cool. And that was your cold open.
It's the blame VZ for last week's delay.
No, we'll do that once we're recording.
No, there will be some funny ass shit. Give me a 1, 2, and 3. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K Gods.
I'm VZ Mark II.
And we have a guest.
Oh, hi. I'm Karen. I wasn't sure if I should just speak up or you'd give me an intro or,
do you want to like play music or something, or
No.
I
wasn't expecting like a big amazing intro. Like, I was just expecting like, and we have a guest this week. Blah,
Well, knowing Anubis, he did
2001 Space Odyssey theme in the soundboard.
But the funny thing would be is you'd probably hit the wrong button and play the fart noise or something.
Yeah, I'll just be happy with what I got. Let's move on.
Sorry for the delay last week. That's my call. For some reason, my main Mac just will not do any. Google Hangouts will not work on it for some reason.
See,
they can hear me, but I cannot.
For everybody listening to this that can't see it, Anubis has this biggest shit-eating grin right now.
It just works, man.
So I'm using my iPad.
It just works.
See, that's going to be the title. Okay.
All right, so to cut myself off from shitting on VZ, here's how to get into the chat. What you're going to do is you're going to go to She's Lost Control. It's the wrong website. You're going to go to ntrradio.com.
Sorry.
Click on the chat link. That'll bring you to the page with the IRC chat in it. Give yourself a nickname, hit the start button, and join us in the IRC channel. Alternatively, take your favorite IRC clients, point it at irc.ryzen.net, and join us in the # or # SLC Media channel. In addition, you can get at me on Twitter at TENubis, VZ on Twitter at VZMK2, and the show on Twitter at NTR_radio. And as always, you can get at us in the email box, ntrradio@gmail.com. So it's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
And there's a lot that's going on. I'm going to throw out mine because it's probably the most unfortunate and grave reason. About 2 weeks ago, I had a relative that I lost him to suicide. So it's been kind of weird since that happened, you know. I mean, I wasn't really close to them, but no matter how you look at it, it affects the rest of the family.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of like dark, kind of ominous sort of cloud hanging around. I mean, everybody's been trying to kind of, you know, go on and everything, but you know, it's kind of in the back of your head,
Right?
no matter how you look at it. So I thought I'd get that out of the way, just so.
Is it okay to ask how old the person was, or?
Sure. They were 56, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of want to have some kind of comforting comment here, and all I've really got is, you know, I'm sorry for your loss, which is like, why does it bother?
I really wouldn't know what to say other than the same thing.
Yeah, and neither did I. It's like, you know, you try to tell somebody, what can you say about that?
Yeah, because saying I'm sorry really doesn't.
It is really all you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you gonna say?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it really is one of those like I'm at a loss for words kind of thing. So again, get that ugliness out of the way because that's kind of been wearing on me a little bit. Again, wasn't really super close. I mean, but that's again not the point. I just thought I'd throw that out there so everybody kind of knows. And I mean, that didn't really contribute to why we didn't do it last week or anything. Actually, that was technical crap there.
It's much funnier, much more like.
Oh yeah. It's like you could get really mad about crap like that, but at some point it's just kind of like I'm just gonna laugh hysterically.
Yeah, there's two ways to handle it.
Hey guys, hilarious. I should note that next show, if everything aligns right, next show will be my birthday.
Yeah.
It's February 11th. It actually showed up on because of how phones and stuff are interlocked now, and like when you, especially if you interlock it with your email, everybody that's on my email thing, it warns me when birthdays are coming up.
There we go.
It's just kind of funny.
What's higher than wizard? Like super mega mage,
archmage,
archmagus, sage,
sorcerer.
Yeah, there you go. Sorcerer, there you go.
Conjurer,
genie. Now we're just naming stuff from fucking Aladdin. freaking street rat, riffraff, or
that's a different category, different job class.
Yeah. My bad.
Let's start naming off Final Fantasy classes. Red mage,
dragoon.
Cannoneer. I'm trying to think of a really obscure one now. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's like Dark Knight, Mime.
Lady Luck from Final Fantasy X-2.
There you go. What do you call those? Calculator.
There we go.
Tactics. Right. Remember those?
Yeah.
I think that's what those were called, weren't they?
You know, I've played it a lot, and I've technically never completed Final Fantasy Tactics. Every time I remember that, I hate myself. I hate myself a little bit.
It's like
I really shouldn't finish it.
Have you ever tried the goofy? Have you ever tried the goofy classes like Mediator?
I've tried them. I haven't done like a Mediator only run or anything like that. But I played around.
I love when people do that. Because then you're watching them and you almost can feel the pain through the video. Like this is not gonna work, you know.
Oh, I am a veteran of the Yuna only no summoning challenge from Final Fantasy X. So
There you go.
I'm all about the pain. I'm in fact the originator of that challenge, but that's another story.
I think the worst one I actually watched somebody do was the White Mage only original run.
White Mage only for what? The original
Final Fantasy. Yeah, and I was just like, why would you do that to yourself?
Because I'm sure there's a good reason. It'll come to me.
Yeah, it's like you're fighting with hammers, and the only real advantage you have is the heal spells, and the undead aren't going to do much to you.
See, all this just sounds extremely painful for me, a guy who barely.
Oh yeah, this is masochism. This is like this is like horse whips and shackles.
I struggle trying to get through these games normally.
It was really bad. So, but unfortunately, because of this situation, I haven't really been doing a lot of anime watching or anything because more important things kind of going on. I have been reading the Akame ga Kill manga. I picked that up.
Oh, champ.
Because they come in, they have like X amount of chapters in each one. It's different from book to book. Right. So I'm on the second book on the last chapter, which is 9. There's like 72 or something overall chapters, not books. So that's about as far as I've been going with it. I'm enjoying it. So far, it hasn't deviated from what they did in the show yet too much, other than Esdeath doesn't have as big of assets.
Could you give me like a 2-sentence summary of what Akame ga Kill is about? Because I didn't see the anime.
Cute girls that are assassins.
Oh, that's less than 2 sentences, but probably better. Okay.
With a male main character that nobody really cares about. Because everybody just likes the girls.
I love giving like.
He's not joking either.
No. Do you know anybody whose favorite character is Tatsumi? Like the only thing anybody likes about him is that I wish I was in that situation.
I love giving iconic descriptions to the shows that we like my favorite Seren Kagura, lesbian titty ninjas.
It's not wrong.
Well, my favorite is Dominion Tank Police. Police militarization reaches logical conclusion.
The reason we started doing that though was because there was a website out there. It's probably still there. It's called Uncomfortable Plot Summaries, and there's some really hilarious ones in there. I think the original one people remember was the Wizard of Oz one.
Oh yeah,
where people talk about how the first they kill a witch and pretty much immediately when they get in the new land, I don't remember how it went, and they steal the shoes or whatever. It's pretty funny. The worst one I've seen was the one for Demolition Man. That one was so painful and offensive. Like holy crap! It was like in a future where crime is illegal, a black man steals and murders. I'm like, that's bad.
It's so bad that you have to kind of giggle though.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, if you watch the movie, you know why that's funny. Yeah. Or the other ones were about like Cujo, if you ever saw that, the Stephen King story, where it was like.
I'm the person who has like not watched or seen anything except some anime.
But the thing was, it's about the dog, and it's like, family neglects to give their dog, like rabies shots, pays the price or something. It's pretty ridiculous.
See, we could come up with like hilarious descriptions for some of the anime, like Valkyrie Drive. I would just say is like characters with giant areolas.
Oh, here's a great one from in the thing, from Drawing Girl 94. My favorite is the one I made up for school days. Guy finds out that becoming a player makes him lose his head.
Not wrong.
No.
Hey, how can I see the chat? I don't see it.
Oh,
okay. So what you're gonna do is in a separate window or something, you're gonna go to ntrradio.net.
Oh,
you can see the chat link there, and you'll be able to give yourself a nickname and join the IRC chat.
Oh, I didn't think I had to do that. I thought that was.
No, you can if you want. I mean, you don't have to. Oh, Morathal says, hopefully I said that right. Armed vagrant kills first person she meets and teams up to kill again. Yeah, that's it.
I got another one. I've said this one before. For Girlfriend Beta. I describe it as Moe Seiyu Avengers.
At least it's not the Mauve Avenger. Like people who listen to this show are like, why do you keep going on about that? What are you even talking about? Because we brought that up more than once before, obviously.
Or Moe say you Justice League. Take your pick,
Or like
go to Avengers because it's better.
Well, how about? I'm sure somebody came up with a good DBZ one. It's just like angry testosterone-driven men grunt like they're constipated while taking episodes to fire off an attack. Unless you've seen Kai. Yeah, stuff like that.
Idolmaster. Singers get prostituted for middle-aged virgin men.
No, that's the Dojins.
Yeah. No. See, that's Idolmaster Dojins.
I've got one. I've got one for this season, but it's kind of jumping ahead because it's the season. But I've got Girl Eats Ramen and is a bitch.
Oh yes, that's what I said. That's what I said about ramen too. It's Miss Koizumi loves ramen noodles, and is also a bitch.
I like it though. I shouldn't like it. I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't be watching so many food porn shows.
That and one other is my favorite.
Oh, with that, let's talk about what we've been watching.
Actually, before that,
everyone else will have to do that because of my scenario.
Anubis.
Yeah.
Anubis, show off in the back what you got from the last time.
Okay.
That's later.
Okay.
Let's talk about this anime first.
So
I can go first since I've only watched one thing.
Okay.
All right. Spin the wheel.
So I watched the first. I've only seen the first episode so far of Darling in the Franxx.
I've got it. I've got it set up to watch that, but I haven't yet.
Okay.
It's pretty good so far. Certainly has an interesting premise.
I heard
it's weird. It's got a weird name.
It's very Evangelion.
It's very
Evangelion. Evangelion done by A1 Pictures.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, and that's pretty much the only thing I know about it and why I've held off on watching it, because I'm just not in the mood for anything heavy right now. So it's like Evangelion, it's just not a good pitch for me right now.
But we'll have the most important scene from Ava.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
There's a number of scenes I'm thinking about, none of them good.
All right, think End of Ava.
That's what I was doing.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
It's exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah. It's that plus Kill la Kill.
All right. So then, I guess I'll go.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. Whole bunch of stuff I watched. Some stuff I dropped. But I'm gonna talk about the ones that I'm staying with first. And the first one is what you said, Karen. Miss Koizumi loves ramen noodles.
Ramen, yay!
Yeah, I'm liking that show. There's no denying she really comes off like a bitch. I know she's supposed to be like the kudere, cool beauty. That's the show's description.
And instead just comes across as my 6th grade teacher.
But the thing is, I like the fact that whenever the subject of ramen comes up, like, she doesn't care who you are. Like, you could be like some homeless person. She will tell you like everything about the history of ramen.
Yeah,
she just needs to tell people about ramen. So that's what saves her character for me. If she was just like a total bitch, she didn't talk to anyone ever, it would be like, how can I even watch this show?
But at the same time, the other girl is pretty much like, whenever she's on, and I'm like, Miss Koizumi does not love you. Leave her.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Well, it's kind of like in Maid Dragon, how if you brought up maids, they'd just be like, oh!
Because the main girl with the blue hair is kind of like enthralled with Koizumi.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking about that, though, is that, like, we have such excellent lesbian and gay representation in anime nowadays, because that blue-haired girl is so the dude who, like, just doesn't get the girl isn't into him. And it's like, now we get a perfect female version of that, and it's, like, not even commented on. So I just want to say, right. I think representation has taken major steps forward lately.
Is her name Sarah Marshall? No. That was bad.
The other one I'm really liking a lot, and this kind of surprised me. I didn't think I would enjoy it this much. Is Yuru Camp or Laid Back Camp?
Oh yeah. I'm
I
in
really like
I was
that.
about to say I'm in the Euro camp with you, but I was like, wait a minute.
That show, as if Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles is very educational about ramen, this show's very educational about camping.
It's actually made me want to go camping. And the thing is, my dad is a serious camper. He's done like sub-zero camping and everything. And I had so many years when I had opportunities to go camping and I never wanted to. I watched like
Ouch.
3 episodes of the show and I was like, you know what? I'd like to try winter camping sometime. This is fun.
I want to rub sticks together and catch a rabbit.
If you know me enough, you know which girl I like the most.
I want to
The
learn
one that
how
looks
to.
exactly like the podcast's mascot.
Yes,
Ouch.
Chiaki.
Wait, which one?
Chiaki.
Which one is she? Which one of the? Oh, she's the
The
one.
glasses and the twin tails.
Right, she's the one who's in the outdoor activities club.
Yes.
Did you just say the girl with the forehead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
has
has a
a.
very
She's
prominent
got like a
forehead.
5 head.
We call that being a Ritsu.
Well, she has bangs, but they're very high up. They're like all the way up here.
Insert jokes about receding hairlines here.
What else am I watching? Slow Start. Which
Every time somebody says that, I just have that weird, like, because that's a strange name for a show, and I hear that and I just kind of jump out of my body moment, like, wait, what? What's a slow start? What show are we talking about?
here's the thing. It's extremely, if it wasn't that there were so many other, the thing about it is there's so many other cute girls doing cute things this season, and so it comes off very generic in comparison, but at the same time, it is still enjoyable in its way, and it's at times got some amazing animation, got some amazing production values. Definitely that Aniplex money, because it's an A1 figure.
It's a shame. It's just a shame they couldn't come up with a proper premise for it, because
the premise is okay.
Would you say it's got a slow start?
It's like she had to hold back a year from going to high school because she got sick with the mumps, and she missed her entrance exam.
But here's the problem with the premise. She treats it like it's this dark secret, like, oh my god, if my new friends find out that I'm a year older than no one cares. We all know as viewers that no one cares that she's a year older than them.
It's a weird thing. She doesn't want to say it. It's like just say it already. It's like
maybe that's just the Japanese thing.
That's gotta be it. And then she
because nobody actually cares about that sort of thing over here. I mean, like if you're 20 and you're still in high school, yeah, I mean, somebody might think something.
A character recently who missed her like college exams and was like living in like the apartment below her, below the main character. And again, it was truly like this thing, like I'm just huddled in here and I'm wearing my sweatpants and sweatshirt.
Yes, and its sequel will be entitled "Do Not Pass Go."
Oh, what else?
Or Community Chest, or
Mitsubishi Colors.
Free parking
is really good too. If you like, it's everyone says it. Just stylistically, very similar to Strawberry Marshmallow, but for now, Strawberry Marshmallow of this era.
Okay.
I still have to check that show out so I can find out what is up with that RPG launcher.
That blonde one is very much a brat. Anything she says or does is hilarious. She's obsessed with poop. She just blurts right out that her mom is she blurts right out that her mom is constipated. She's like, poop is mysterious.
See, that would make sense if that was in the camping episode, in the camping show, because you know how you're not supposed to have any of that near like your camping site, because it attracts like animals and stuff.
Well, in Laid Back Camp, they actually go to the bathroom, at least so far, in like actual like public park bathrooms. So
They don't do the thing where like they hang it like on a tree branch so the bears don't cover.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yogi Bears hanging out there.
It's like why don't they like I know they're not gonna actually show it, but it's like, excuse me, I gotta dig a little hole here. You know, nature's calling.
We have to wait for the OVA episode for that.
Oh yeah. Wait for Comic Market.
And I'm also watching Takunomi, which is the adult women drinking show.
I know a lot of people were talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, because it's adult women.
Well, more so the drinking.
I think I'd like to watch that, but I don't know. Is that streaming anywhere? Or do you have to fly to Japan in a little plane to watch it?
I think it's on H Dive.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's a
High Dive, yeah.
I don't really know what that is, but I need to find out.
Isn't that Sentai's pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sentai's going real hard on High Dive now since the whole thing with anime strike happened the way it happened.
Petered out the way it did.
Oh well, I like Sentai as a company, so I probably will.
I watched
me too.
the first two, but I haven't kept up with Gaku and Babysitters.
For shame.
It's okay.
For shame, VZ.
What?
For shame, VZ, that you did not keep up with it. The show of the season, show of the year. It's okay, he says.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like the idea. He just doesn't like the idea of having to do it.
What, babysitting?
Yeah. What else?
It's like
I can tell you what
they'll be messing with my figures.
I can tell you what I dropped so hard after that first episode.
Uh-oh.
The fact that people are loving it, and it's like...
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Yeah, Pop Team Epic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's funny!
I could have told you would have dropped that in the first episode.
Well, the comics are funny. The comics are kind of funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. The comics are fucking hilarious, but I guess it just doesn't translate well to the anime medium or something like that.
Yeah, as a YouTube. If they put here's a YouTube channel where we're just gonna put these like 5-second gags, and that would be fine. It doesn't work as a thing, and it's so much of it is just like the thing that I can't stand now is the ironic entertainment thing.
Yeah,
that people are into. It's like look how crappy we are.
Like we said last time, it's like William Street. I'm thinking Adult Swim tried to make it's a comedy
exactly
anime.
Like that.
I don't know if anybody else saw this, and this was just a couple of years ago, at least that I remember it, where people were wearing a bunch of nostalgia shirts, but of shows they clearly don't watch or didn't watch, and certainly weren't around for.
Oh, like Twin Peaks?
Or like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can they may very well actually like the show. I mean, in some cases that might be true, but it's more of a fashion accessory. Yeah, like I would see like little like teenagers at the mall running around with Iron Maiden shirts. It's like, oh yeah, Iron Maiden. They're just like they'll look at me like just kind of like, wait, that's a band. See, I thought this was a skateboard, marketing thing, or. And then you're just kind of like, and then you give up.
Karen, have you watched Violet Evergarden? Because I haven't watched that one.
No, and it's kind of dumb, but I kind of have a grudge about it because not a grudge, just sort of this preconceived idea that I don't like the show just because a couple of months ago people were going nuts, like, oh my god, Violet Evergarden looks so beautiful. I'm so psyched for that season, and I was just like, just my natural contrariness. I was like, well, if you're psyched for it, then I'm not. So I haven't seen it yet. But I really should watch it. It
does look pretty, but it also doesn't look... Because I love Kyoani, but it also doesn't look like anything I'm into. Again,
it's pretty, but it's worthless to you.
Yeah, I want...
Scenery porn.
Kyoani for me is stuff like Lucky Star, K-On!, or if we're going a little bit later, Sound Euphonium...
That was actually pretty interesting in how popular that got for a short time.
Yeah, well, they are doing a movie for
everybody I know was watching that.
They are doing a movie.
Everybody in my immediate circle was watching Euphonium.
Yeah, it got really popular in anime, like anime Twitter. It was very popular for some reason.
I really recommend it. Being that like
I was surprised it did.
yeah, being that what's his face completed hasn't even bought the license the second one, Pony Canyon.
Oh,
My bet,
Pony Canyon.
yeah, my bet is that like someone's gonna pick up like re-release the first season as a set, which is
Nozomi. I have a good proposition for you.
Any of them, Nozomi, Sentai.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want Funimation to do it.
Or Media Blasters, because then it'll never come out.
Media Blasters doesn't really do anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad how long it took to get Ladies versus Butlers. It's like, is that out yet? Is that out yet?
Wait, how long did it take to get Ladies versus Butlers?
Oh, it was like the Chinese democracy of anime. It was
Wasn't I complaining about that for like a couple years?
Yeah, like you can go back to the beginning of our show.
Yeah.
And then like years later, we're still bitching about it. And then it's just like, then it eventually did come out. It was really low key when it did too.
It's kind of ironic that it's that show that took so long to come out, because I remember watching that show, or at least watching some of it while it was airing, and it's just like what was so hard about releasing that show? Just put it out, and
it's not like they had to restore it or anything.
It's basically a skeleton crew for that company.
So I hear it's like, yeah, you call there and it's the thing where it's like the bird and the telephone. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like it's like ring, ring, robocall type thing picks it up. It's like, you've reached Media Blasters. Nobody is home right
now. I would love anyone that would. I would love if anyone would go and license like Girlfriend Beta, because that would be like a pre-order day one type of thing.
I watched that show, and I know you're a big fan of it, but I swear to God, I only watched it like maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember what happened in that show. I remember the one girl was into rhythmic gymnastics, and that's all I remember.
Almost every episode had a different group of characters. That's why you probably don't remember.
Yeah, I like vaguely remember liking it, like not loving it, but like, oh, okay, this is a vaguely pleasant way to spend an afternoon, but I just don't. I have no further memory.
Honestly, it just didn't hit here, but it became one of my like top favorites. And it's and I know this is again. I love the character designs. I love the whole like different all these like top moe seiyu were in it.
Super group kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say it probably appealed to you on a different level than
the fact that those cards are still coming out.
Yeah,
QP Flapper's art, who's actually become one of my favorite artists.
That actually brings up a good point. How many of those cards, like those, I forgot what they're called, like the Rook cards or whatever they're called?
Yeah.
I think you might know what I'm talking about. They usually have like Senran Kagura or High School DxD.
Yeah.
Like those are still being pumped out. Like it seems like every month there's more of those.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of like, and because
like if you were a collector, that would be hard to keep up with all that, because
Master cards and Love Live cards and all that.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? They all have a very distinct kind of uniform look to them.
Well, that's probably the Senran Kagura and the High School DxD ones. But yeah. They're...
And they do. They have like the chess pieces in the corner and things like that.
Yeah.
They probably got an actual name, but I can't think of them. So I just call them the Rook cards.
Yeah.
If somebody in the chat wants to clue me in on that, that would be nice. Because I would use that for research purposes. And by that, I mean to save high-res pictures of them.
Anything else, Karen? Have you seen anything else for the season?
Or any kind of anime-related entertainment?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of things that you haven't mentioned. Well, I've watched all of School Babysitters because, unlike you, I have priorities. So, it's just it's a fun show to watch if you like just cuteness, just for obvious reasons. But what it has going for it that I think maybe was a little bit unexpected is like how true it reads if you actually like deal with little kids. It's like, oh, that's totally my kid who would do that, like that sort of thing. Like, so
that's actually something that I think about with Mitsubishi Colors also, is how much they act like elementary schoolers of their age.
Does anyone remember that Sailor Moon episode where Usagi and Mamoru are actually babysitting unwittingly?
Yes.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, because that's kind of the one where you realize that they'll be good together in that way.
I don't remember it. Now I feel kind of bad.
I think it's from I'm pretty sure it's the first season, isn't it? It's before, because it's before Chibiusa shows up.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I want to point out that I originally saw those old things dubbed. Yeah, I know. And she is so much more of a brat in the dub. Like, it really ruins the character in a way. Just because she's just so obnoxious. It's kind of like Relina from Gundam Wing in the sense that her dub makes her sound a lot older than she is and kind of more annoying, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Kagome from Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Well, let's just be blunt about that. The dub for that is kind of annoying anyway. Besides the mispronunciations, which I can let that slide, but I can't let it slide that he sounds like a surfer. Kagome!
Yeah.
Like Hangton, dude!
I'm also watching Cardcaptor Sakura, the new Cardcaptor Sakura, and
okay, cool.
what's really impressive about that is I'm amazed at how it simultaneously looks so much like the old show, and yet it's so modern.
Yeah,
that's the thing about
cool.
And Cardcaptor Sakura. I just was never introduced to it properly. The only
he saw the 4Kids butchery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was probably the most egregious example of something like that, because in that case they weren't even taking something. They were taking something and trying to make it a completely different genre from what the original show was.
I do love singing the theme song every
Please
now
stop.
and then, just to annoy them too, which I love.
Cardcaptors. Something. Yeah.
Well, at least he hasn't picked up Screaming Rock the Dragon. Or that, even worse, freaking that bastardization of Moonlight Densetsu. Where they do the thing where they're singing about what happens in the show. So it's just kind of like this awful Captain Planet crap.
By moonlight.
Yeah, it's like the original one had so much more anyway,
Artistry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say, okay, it was Nelvana, not 4Kids. Okay.
Yeah.
But we could still call it the 4Kids-ization of it.
But at least it's not that live action / Americanized Sailor Moon that was gonna be made. If any of you have seen that.
I saw clips of it, and I think I blocked it out of my head. Just like la 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 la.
It's funny how Tumblr-ish it is now that I think about it, because it's like you got a one in the wheelchair.
Oh, it's like the Rainbow Coalition kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah. I think.
I hate to tell you guys this, but I'm watching more anime too.
Ouch. Okay. Easy now.
Anything else?
Yeah, Dagashikashi season 2. Which
I couldn't get into the original one. But
what's not there to get into? It's a show about candy. That's all it's about. Candy and Hataru's boobs. That is all it's about.
I hate to say it, but that is enough for most people to watch something.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, to be serious, I mean, just the way the comedy works, like comic timing and everything. And I thought the first season was pretty impressive in that regard. Also watching March Comes In Like a Lion, which is ongoing. That was. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay, well, don't take that as a commentary on March Comes In Like a Lion, because it's
actually
very good.
That was my commentary on March Comes a Lion.
Shut up! It's the best show. It's great. It's the Marcel Proust of anime. That's what it is. It's genius.
Jeff, go back to your fan service roots. All right.
And the last one I want to mention, I'm probably watching other things that I've forgotten, but whatever. Last one I'm going to mention is the one about the girls going to Antarctica, which has been really good so far,
how
actually.
Was that? I haven't seen.
That's an interesting premise. Like, wow, that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think it's really good so far. I'm liking it a lot more than I expected to, just because I think they're doing a good job of like keeping the plot going and and developing the characters. Because, like, here's the thing: when I heard the premise was that they were going to go to the Antarctica, I was just like, oh, it's going to be that situation where they're trying to get there for the whole season, and then they finally get there in episode 12, and then maybe in the OVA, like, you see them like hang out with penguins or something like that. But no, they're actually going to get to Antarctica in like next episode probably. So I'm pleased with that.
Well, at least they're not doing the Big Bang Theory thing where they're trapped with an annoying person in an igloo, basically.
Well, we don't know all the girls that well yet. I mean, I think one of them is kind of annoying. So.
Oh no! It's like where they threaten to basically take their what the hell are those things called? I can't think of the stupid thing. It's the Amazon, the Kindle. And they threaten to take it and throw it out in the ice, lure him out, and then lock him out there.
Actually, one more thing I did watch just the first episode of.
No, it's my turn now. Go ahead. It's okay.
She's messing with you, dude.
Yeah. After the Rain.
Oh, I want to watch that actually, but that's probably another one that's either... Is that on High Dive?
I don't think so.
Okay, I gotta watch that regardless of where it is, because that sounds interesting to me. I just haven't gotten around to it.
It was alright. A lot of people seem to be praising it despite the premise.
Despite the premise? Is that going to be despite the fan service? Like the new thing for the new...
Yeah. Well, what is it? It's a 17-year-old girl with a 45-year-old father.
Oh, it's that show. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the guy looks like exactly like the guy from Pat Labor.
Interesting.
It's disturbingly how similar his
I'm surprised the Chans haven't made photoshops of this then yet. Oh wow.
And she looks like Rin from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. So
okay. I still need to watch that. I've only watched the original. So I'm way behind on those.
You will become, and you two will become enthralled with Kaneko.
Well, the thing is with Idolmaster and the Idol thing is more so I don't want to be killed by the other team, which are Love Livers. And
if you don't get what that war is all about.
Oh, it's insane. I saw two of my friends, or ostensibly their friends, like, you know, I saw them practically like busting a bottle and going at each other with it. You know, like I'm just sitting there like why can't you just like both or?
Well, here's the thing.
The commercial for the Echo Shells and the little girl goes, why not both?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing, and I get it.
It's weird to me.
I get it that like there's this rivalry and shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the Genesis versus the SNES is always the one I remember from childhood.
Well, here's the reason that if I was a Love Live person, I wouldn't pick a fight with the Idolmaster people. The Idolmaster people have fighter jets. If you've ever played any modern Ace Combat game, there's a whole bunch of Idolmaster painted fighter jets.
Plus, even if you were to win against them, you would ruin Berserk.
Yeah. Let's just live and let live. Let's not get bombed on by SU-47s.
You have
painted like
people.
Hiroshi.
You have the Love Live people. I'm the guy that likes wake up girls.
The one person,
yeah, who likes Wake Up Girls.
Watched Wake Up Girls.
No. See, the extra person is the what the hell was that called? AKB
0048.
Yeah, them. Yeah, I can never remember the number. Okay. It appears I am being lynched in the chat about liking Idolmaster a bit more.
Well, all I'm saying is, until the Love Live people get their own Air Force, maybe don't pick fights.
Although I will say one thing about Love Live is I like I think her name is Nozomi, the blue-haired one that's like always grabbing girls' breasts from behind. And like in this really kind of
Nozomi.
Yeah, okay, Nozomi. Yeah, I thought that was her name. She's an amusing character. Yes. But I actually like the songs more from Idolmaster.
Yeah, same. I am slightly more into the
and that sounds like a stupid reason to like the show more, but not really, because it is Idol show.
I especially am a fan of Cinderella Girls. Not to knock the original.
I gotta get to it. I will eventually. It's one of those back burner things, like Anubis. I have this giant scroll.
Also there's the Idolmaster movie and the Love Live movie. Both of those,
but like I'm saying, I got this scroll that basically has.
Yeah.
That basically has every thing I need to watch, and it's just like it gets longer and longer.
Eventually, you're gonna go to your grave with some kind of a backlog.
Yeah, they'll wrap me up in it.
I will say that I actually liked the Love Live movie a little bit more than the Idolmaster movie.
Well, there you go. Nozomi is very well developed. Yeah, yes, she is.
Yeah.
I think another reason a lot of people don't like Love Live is because of Nico, because of those memes and whatnot, pissed people off.
Well, because she's like the fake cutie. She like only pretends to be cute, but she's like the
No, she's pretty cute.
Well, yeah, but she has that fake cuteness about her.
Fake cuteness. You can't fake cuteness.
Is that like Gap Moe?
It's like no, but she has that like.
No, it's like Abercrombie and Fitch Moe.
But then she's like, all serious. But then she's actually like, what's that word when you're like, a little bit like Akira from Lucky Star, if you remember, where she was pretending to be.
Oh yeah.
Cute, but she was disgruntled.
Wait.
Hilarious. What's people's problem?
Check this out. Shroud of Tattered Dakimakura. Like the Shroud of Turrets. Yeah. I don't want to know what made those stains. See, and the other thing is considered to be like radiation or something.
What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
In the chat, I have no idea where this is coming from. It's funny, but
Gray Forster says she pretends to be angel cute when she's devil cute.
I don't know. I think that whole character dynamic is hilarious. It was hilarious in Lucky Star. It's hilarious in Love Live. However, I'm going to jump off of the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls discussion to talk about the shit I got in over the past month.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
right.
Easy.
I'm sorry. This is
no.
so
excitement. Yes.
So I got this Idolmaster Cinderella Girls figure.
Whoa.
I'm so fucking jelly.
Kirari and Anzu.
Oh wow!
I knew I had to have this thing as soon as I saw it on my distributor's website. I mean, VZ, if you want one, I have one for sale. Like it's not on the website, but I can,
he's doing the thing where
I can sell it to you.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go sell some blood, and
well, I don't have the extra.
It begins.
I don't have the extra money for it.
I know
it'll remain in my inventory until it's sold. So unless someone buys it, it's up.
Ooh, there you go. Well, just leave it there, and if I,
well, he's gonna leave it there unless somebody buys it.
Someone else buys it.
All right, that's fine. That's cool. Otherwise, yeah, I actually did order something recently because I had some nice points at Tokyo Otaku Mode. So
we'll talk about them later.
I don't have it yet.
Foreshadowing,
yes.
All right, next I have this 1/7 scale Shimikaze.
Oh,
that's the front. There we go.
No. See, you just wanted to stare at the butt.
All I remember about her from the anime is that she's fast. She's the fast ship.
Yeah, that's pretty much her entire
all I
character.
remember for her from the anime is that she's just the weird cloud cuckoo lander.
Okay, you got something else there?
Oh yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
Giggles.
Have you ever been on Amazon and you're like, okay, I want to get this one thing, and then an hour later you have like $100 worth of shit buying?
Yes. The word actually, it's not usually Amazon that does that to me. It's like a Hobby Lobby or something like that. I go in for one item.
Hobby Lobby.
I go in there for one item.
I'm very angry at UK gods for making me discover Hobby Lobby.
It's like anytime.
It's a joke.
I went in there to get like a basically like a clipboard type thing for like, drawing and writing on, so you can always have it on your lap. So you can draw or write or whatever you need to do. And it's like I came out of there with paints and all kinds of shit. I was just this is a bad idea.
The place is a death trap. For my wallet. So what I got was first things first. I got this book, Anime Supremacy. So I've been hearing about it on Annie Twitter.
Well, holy shit, the A is like the anarchist A.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
What a great title.
So it's a light novel. It's kind of like Shirobako in that it kind of follows anime production. The anime.
This wasn't written
cycle.
by Antifa, was it?
No. I fucking hope not. It's Japanese. They don't have that problem there. And then I picked up these 3 on fucking Amazon.
Uh-oh.
Meant to called The Anime Boom in the United States, published by the Harvard University Asia Center.
The Anime Boom in the eyes. Oh wow! So it has Hero Man on the cover.
Hero Man. Yeah. So this one's kind of talking about.
Have you read it yet, or is it just kind of?
I've read a little bit. It's kind of talking about the point between like Pokemon in 2008 when anime was on this huge upslope in the West.
And every Best Buy had like a huge anime section.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like you'd go in there and it's like, how did this happen? And then you'll go in there now and it's not even there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then their music section's gone. It's like they're trying to set you up for like Office 365 accounts. And
yeah, the last time I went to Best Buy, it was just downright depressing. It's just like there's nothing here anymore.
They used to sell musical equipment, like guitars and drum kits and things like that. Heck, it's where I got the mic I'm talking to on. And it's just like now it's not even there, and now it's just like where we keep back inventory of like Connect 4, or something.
Shell of its former self.
People back there smoking dank weed or something. Who knows what they're doing back there?
Next, I got this book, Anime Fan Communities, by Sandra Annett. Annett, yes. I got this book strictly because of the title. I have no idea what it's about, other than the title.
Have these all been published recently? Because I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, me either.
Most of these have been published recently. I believe
those look like
Anime Boom
hardbacks
in the
too.
United States is very recent. Most of these are hardcover. Yeah.
Well, that's good because I mean
this one's also pretty recent. It's late 2000s, I believe.
Don't ever buy anything by Susan Napier.
No, I know to avoid that minefield.
I had to read that in art school.
So I also got Cool Japan by Tim Craig.
Okay.
Nice
I think
cover,
this one's
by the way.
2014. Not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And then to round that all off, I also picked up the Otaku Encyclopedia.
Yeah, I've got that too. That's fun. It's fun for what it is because it even has like the little glossary type thing where it explains what all the stuff is, and at least I think
It's got interviews and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it's nothing you don't already know, but I mean, really,
it's good. It's good to have.
It's good to have reference. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like me. I'm the big metalhead, and I got fuck tons of books about it. Like, you'd be surprised how much publishing is actually made about that. Like interviews, like scene reviews, and just all kinds of stuff. Again, I can't even get into all of it. Biographies and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like that with those. It's just super nerdy kind of. I gotta have more information, input. You know.
I wish there was more.
Like Johnny Five from fucking Short Circuit. You know, input.
I wish there was more like documentaries and books about like the process of how anime is just made.
You would think there'd be more of that, and there probably is in Japan.
Well, I found a few YouTube videos that kind of go along that, because there was that one with Danny Chu that you said.
Yeah, the JC staff.
And there was one where he also went to a production IG as well.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I was just thinking with the way Netflix is getting involved in producing so much anime, and they're very big on making the documentaries, like the food documentaries and the art documentaries. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Netflix has something like that in the works.
God help us.
Well,
I don't trust Netflix with anime. I don't trust Netflix with that either.
All right. Well, I want to see how, what's something we would like to see.
Well, weren't they part of the process for the new Devilman?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's showing on Netflix.
Holy shit! The minefield that from that show.
Yeah, I mean, I actually haven't watched it yet, other than just like people. It seems to be well liked by a lot of people, but
well, here's the thing. First off, you should know it's directed by the guy. You're gonna love this one, Anubis.
I like his eyebrows are raising. He's just like, I don't know about this.
Let's hear it,
It's
BZ.
directed by the guy who did Kick Heart.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, we're gonna talk about Kick Heart too. Trust me. You mean that thing everyone was real pumped for, but completely forgot
that
about
guy.
immediately after it came out?
It disappeared like completely from the conversation.
Oh man, listen. I'm gonna give that guy mission successful just for the fact that he still has work.
The other thing is that
I'm sorry,
again,
you made
some
what?
people are-
Kick Heart?
You can't.
We'll put you on this devil, man. Oh well, and to be fair, maybe this is just the exact move Netflix is gonna make. Oh, let's take this. Hey, let's take the guy who made Kick Heart and put him on this anime. Well, we're Netflix. We don't give a fuck about this stuff.
some people are complaining about, again, the violence and.
Did they never see Devilman before?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
Obviously
like,
not.
Do you not know?
You know this guy made Violence Jack, right?
How many of these people were watching anime 5 years ago?
I will find it. Oh, Masaka Yuasa. That's the guy.
Wait, Yuasa, he's the one who did Ping Pong and Tatami Galaxy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
there's-
he's famous for making stuff that
Isn't Kick Heart?
a whole bunch of people get. No. Because remember, a whole bunch of people were like real pumped about Ping Pong when that was coming out and completely forgot about it.
Kemumo Zume. It's like anime that doesn't look like anime. Is a lot of this guy's stuff.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of stuff that people get real pumped about and completely drop off on.
Mind game.
When's the last time you heard anybody talking about Kids on the Slope?
Where's the Kids on the Slope talk? People were real pumped about it. I don't know where it is.
I would talk about it, but I haven't watched it yet, so it's kind of been. Yeah.
Again, much like Redline, the only time you hear about Kids on the Slope is on this podcast.
There's a
with a
live
show on
action
it.
Kids on the Slope movie or series.
Well, the thing is did they really have to call it that? Couldn't they just done a straight translation of it?
Well, the best part about Kids on the Slope is the fact that, again, it's supposed to be like about jazz in the 60s or something.
And apparently there's some gay people in it, and just like, which is fine and everything.
There
It's
was
just
also a. This wasn't from the dub. This was from the Japanese, but I think they're trying to speak English. Where I kid you not, because I heard this when Anime World Order reviewed it. Someone says, "Hey, we don't like that coon music anymore."
Oh, what?
That's what I heard. You put that clip in.
I knew it's just try not to just lose it.
It's like, I'm gonna
what
have to
the
see
fuck?
That's what I heard. I heard that clip from the show.
All right,
Like-
let's move into the break.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
Before we
I
get
think,
mad.
just like
what?
Okay, we're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
oh god.
Oh Lord.
Wow.
Smoking their dope.
My mind's kind of still processing that.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what? It's like, I mean, we joked about it being like, and we actually made a fake commercial for it too, of it being like this like A&E series about keeping kids off the street.
Urban youths away from gangs and drugs.
You know how they have like those community centers that try to keep people, from, getting involved in bad crowds and crap. It's like, we got this rec center, we're keeping people away from
We want to keep the kids off the slope. The
yeah,
slope
exactly.
is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna.
it's
I'll be right back.
supposed to be like, yeah, it's supposed to be like the slippery slope,
Yeah, exactly.
sliding down towards
darkness,
drugs and gangs.
Till opening a what the hell is this called? I can't even think of the name of it now. Oh wow.
Yeah, oh there it is. Live action Kids on the Slope film reveals new visual.
I guess Kids on the Slope made it. No thanks for the people who
Here's the plot. Kids on the
100%
Slope.
forgot about it.
Summer 1966. Blah blah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wasn't a good year. Apparently.
He learns the appeal of jazz and forms his first real friendships.
Okay. Yes. I shall be back as well.
And it back.
Okay, well, I have returned.
Welcome back.
I just got my chair in place. That would be great.
Okay, there we go.
VZ's back.
Yes. Man, this thing drains juice fast. I gotta charge it tomorrow. Okay. I have 66 battery life.
Will it last another like hour and a half or so?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it'll last. But yeah, Yuasa seems to be the guy who makes these things that like it's anime but it doesn't look like anime.
I like what I've seen of his stuff, but I think that only includes ping pong, so that's not saying much.
Oh. That gif. I think the other thing about the Devilman Cry that's like making everyone is the whole like the characters like there's a lot of like trans stuff or something.
Of course.
Or the character like the devil's not really like half and half or something.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I swear to God, I don't have anything against trans people. It's just that it's not that interesting. It's like, okay, so you were born a woman and you'd prefer to live as a man. That's how you feel inside. Great, wonderful, more power to you. Why do we keep having to talk about
here's the thing
every
about
single
the
day?
show itself. Why you're getting more than because it's on Netflix, which means it has more eyes than usual. So that's why you're seeing a lot of more people voicing
I don't even
Outcry for
know
Outcry.
about that. It's like who's on Netflix watching Devilman Crybaby who doesn't already watch anime? Already watch a whole lot of anime. Considering how that show looks,
there's a lot of
which is
people...
not to shit on the show, but considering how that show looks, who isn't into anime is jumping on like, let me try out Devilman Crybaby.
There are people like my cousin who still only use Toonami as a basis of what anime to watch. You know, my cousin is very much.
That's why I'm saying that, like,
it's very much
there's the stuff that's on TV, which is cool in the gang. But my question is, who's just your average Netflix user? What up, okay, guys? Who's just your average Netflix user out here saying, let me check out Devilman Crybaby?
To be fair, that is kind of a strange.
Like, who's coming off of? Yeah, exactly. Who's coming off of watching Top Gun and saying, "Oh, let me check out that Devilman Crybaby thing"?
Yeah, I just got finished watching Friendship is Magic, and
yeah, exactly.
Quite
frankly, people who watch Friendship is Magic are probably more likely to
watch it than Top Gun.
To watch Devilman Crybaby because they're also more likely to have watched anime. I'm talking someone who just got done watching Ocean's 11 and is like,
somebody who marathoned Iron Eagle.
Well, if we're talking about the Tumblr audience,
not even talking about the Tumblr audience. I'm talking the regular ass Netflix audience.
He's talking like my dad, who just got done watching like what's that called, like Big Trouble in Little China or whatever. Basically something like that.
All right. That's good. Ready on second segment?
I believe so. Hang on a sec here. Let me move that.
Let me also get these articles up.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Am I supposed to be looking at these articles?
I'll put them in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
a jumping off point into the main discussion points I want to make that are particular to these articles.
Oh, okay. Did you just get them off of what the hell are they called? You just find them randomly, or
No, they came down. I think when I first encountered this phenomenon that we're going to jump off of from, I think it was Zeke's.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put them all in chat. Give me a second.
Yeah, he said he was going to do that. Is Karen still gone?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. It's just like no one.
I'm mind wandering.
Let me actually get the news drop in ready.
She's still having that like what thing from earlier. I know I am.
Yeah, I'm done for the night. Actually, I have my brain.
This isn't new, but I had this since like 2003. Just felt like taking it out.
Okay,
right.
Ready on second segment.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. So we have news.
Let's news. Working to restore power.
I never get tired of that.
Okay, this is a great job. So have y'all heard of this Otaku Coin thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I heard something about it. I didn't really research into it because I thought it sounded kind of a little on the ridiculous side, but who knows?
So Otaku Coin is basically a new cryptocurrency that Tokyo Otaku Mode is going to be introducing later this year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole conceit of it is that as users watch anime or share content or post reviews and whatnot, they're gonna obtain Otaku Coin, and they'll use that to buy stuff and support creators, and that'll go to supporting the anime industry.
Okay, so they're basically, it almost kind of reminds you of like the tokens you would get at like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. Like
like kind of like
that you used to buy stuff
money
at the Chuck E. Cheese. Like they got them like in that glass cylinder, rectangular thing where they got these crappy ass prizes that for some reason kids still want.
Here's you say kids don't want them, but there was that one time at Dave and Buster's where I bought 3 kazoos, predicated on how many I could fit in my mouth at the same time.
Oh man, somebody is going to take that and edit it to make it sound really bad.
So the first article I posted was in the chat is the Otaku Coin website. It's otaku-coin.com.
Okay. I'm going to open it up here.
The second one going out is more of an informational thing. We're not really going to talk about it, but this is from an actual cryptocurrency based website, and they're examining what's going on with the Otaku Coin. So that's more informational. That's basically telling you how that sort of thing works.
Mm-hmm.
But before we jump in the main topic for the actual news, January 12, 2018, from news, Coin adds Oculus Rift and ANN bosses to advisory committee. What happened was Palmer Luckey, who founded Oculus, and Chris McDonald, who owns ANN, to their advisory committee. And this caused a massive shitstorm.
Yes.
Because Palmer Luckey is someone who is consistently called a Nazi by people. And Chris McDonald is very outspoken in his left-wing politics.
Mm.
So what occurred was, the next article is coming from Anime Herald, January 13th, 2018. What happened was, there's this whole shitstorm. People were calling out Chris McDonald for colluding, collaborating with alt-right Nazis and shit like that.
Yes.
And he issued the following statement. I did not know about Lucky's involvement in the Otaku Coin project until this week, and I did not know about his politics until this morning. Anyone who follows me on Twitter knows where I stand politically and socially, and I hate everything Lucky stands for. I support the goals of Otaku Coin and have the utmost respect for everyone else involved in the project, especially the other advisors, not including Lucky, which is why I signed on board to advise. I'll be extremely happy if I can contribute to finding a way for the project to achieve its goals. It's currently 2 a.m. Sunday morning in Tokyo. It will take a little bit of time before I can speak to anyone there about this. This situation probably won't be resolved until sometime next week, but ultimately it should be obvious that Lucky and I will not be on the same board of advisors.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know what? You know what he should have said? Like, and it would have saved a lot of time. He should have just been like, "Wow, I just drew a total." No, I'm sorry. I actually do have something to say here. You should have been like, other than the fact that we're both on this advisory board, I have no further relationship with Palmer Lucky. Done. Finished. End of sentence.
See, that would have been the reasonable thing to say.
But this sounds like a really bad PR kind of what do you it reminds you of like when human resources will basically just say what they need to say.
Yeah.
Well, no, that it doesn't even come off to me as that way. It comes off to me as him because he's the owner of this anime website. And here's the line that told me that's not what it is. Anyone who follows me on Twitter knows where I stand politically and socially. When you're the owner of the anime website.
Oh yeah. I see where you're getting at. Why does everybody know that?
Politically? Why does that matter? Why is that so important?
Because they signal about it all the fucking time.
So what really happened was he's made a name for himself on his politics, involving that with his involvement with anime. And now, because he's signed on to this project that he's obviously passionate about, it's biting him in the ass because someone who doesn't share his politics signed on with it.
Ouch. It's like, I hate to tell you, but the working world is full of that.
The moral of the story is maybe don't involve politics with your job, especially when your job's talking about cartoons.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's all I'm saying.
I just got this funny, somewhat visual in my head. It's like, yeah, we support this thing with all this like crazy, this incest anime, supporting this incest anime, but this guy is a right winger and we can't have that. Dun, dun, dun.
You know, I'm trying to let go of the hate for ANN. Hate is a strong word. I'm trying to let go of the dislike for ANN because I don't think it's healthy. But then stuff like this happens and it's like, ANN, why are you trying so hard to make me dislike you, to make me disrespect you? Why? It really seems like they're trying at this point.
Well, I think the biggest thing that struck me more than anything else, because normally I just ignore them. VZ is actually the one who ever brought them more to my attention. Thank you. But no, I started seeing their bullshit more and more. And then the thing that killed me the most was when the Ori emo thing went down, because the way they scrambled to try to fix that was absolutely hilarious. Because not only did it piss off the correspondents over there, because they were like, hey, what the hell, you know? But this was a show that they crapped on before they decided to stream it or simulcast it or whatever they did.
Yeah. Remember Zach's words were like, this shit's pathetic.
Blah, blah, blah. And it's like 1 week later, or however long it was, all of a sudden it's on the...
Guys, we're streaming Ori emo.
Yeah, exactly. It just struck me as like, well, that was a business decision, you know? It's like, yeah, I bet it was.
Did that kill their efforts in streaming? What happened with Ori mode? There was nothing after that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I was under the impression that was what happened.
If that wasn't the determining
I don't remember
factor,
it going on past that.
Contributing factor. Yeah, exactly.
Because that sunk that. Like,
I just heard it was just better to put Crunchyroll's streaming through onto ANN.
Well, because
basically, having their own streaming.
And like last shitting on ANN, I'm going to do this show for this particular juncture we're at right now. because they were trying to get into gaming for a while. Like that was their next major move, and where's that now?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they were trying to do this thing and that thing and a whole bunch of talking about was it the game show thing that I
think most people thought
E3.
if they thought they had credibility, I think most of them decided that they threw that away when they decided to have Colony drop as a guest.
Yeah, well, again, we can't forget the time Anubis was on there, and
well, yeah, he did that because he tried to make an example out of him.
Wait, you mean the best episode of ANN Cast?
But it's true, you know that's what they were doing.
And what I love was like I saw right through his charade of trying to it's like, well, what if there's this guy who just all day looks at his anime porn on the day, it's like
that sounds like a personal problem, dude.
You were saying like, well, what's the problem?
Yeah. Don't ask questions, but don't ask gotcha questions that can be reasonably responded to with so.
yeah. I mean, this dude sits around doing this all day. Well, how does that harm you in any way? Like,
you don't have to interact with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he's like mowing your lawn or something. Hopefully not. Well, no, he can't be mowing your lawn because he'd be at home.
Yeah, he's out.
Looking at anime porn.
Anime porn.
Well, again, don't forget, like when Kiss Sis came out, and Kiss Sis were like, what was it? Living
a windowless van. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrolling around grade schools or some shit or.
Was it mustachio balding men? Yeah,
which dude, you don't want to go there out.
What? Like, have you ever encountered that person being an anime fan? Is my
not really. I mean, for some reason that's a really big stereotype, but I've only seen that very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't, but
I mean, he says that he doesn't. He would if he would say fuck you to his past self for talking about that the fans of the stuff, but still.
Well, I'm willing to believe that, but at the same time, I've got no desire to have a beer with the guy.
Nah. Besides, he'd probably like some Pabst Blue Ribbon shit.
It's not even that. I just don't have any to interact with anyone from that organization. But getting back to the main topic, away from shitting on it. so this Otaku Coin, and don't pretend, don't get it twisted. It's not me. This isn't the last time me getting mad on this show. This Otaku Coin thing. Is it me, or does the Western fandom love coming up with ways to support anime that isn't buying shit?
And that they're not going to follow through with?
Yeah, they just buy the shit that's out and do things that way.
Yeah, it's my whole response to this is why don't you just buy stuff? And then I feel well, that's simplistic, isn't it? I mean, this is cryptocurrency. This is the future. Maybe I just don't understand. Blah.
This is confusing to me. So the premise is you earn Otaku Coin by watching anime and sharing it and doing all this stuff. You spend it on anime figures and supporting projects and shit. And it's isn't that what money's for?
I mean, yeah. It's but I don't like dollars. They got white men on them, and
this is Tokyo Otaku Mode doing this. Listen,
yeah, exactly.
If I was in charge of Tokyo Otaku Mode, my ad campaign would be in 2015. Figure sales accounted for an order of magnitude more of the anime industry than disc sales.
So you're not for this. Is what
Otaku Coin?
Yeah.
listen, if it gets more people buying shit, I think it's stupid, and I think all those people will be off, who will have fallen off the boat in half a year. But if it gets people buying shit, it gets people buying shit. I can't knock the hustle with that. I just think it's stupid that this is what we have to do to get people,
trick people into buying shit.
Yeah, like really?
I
really?
see what you're getting at. It sounds.
And my point is, anyone who's on board with like anyone who's already has the inclination to buy the shit.
It's a roundabout way of just buying shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyone who has that inclination is already buying shit.
Yeah.
I remember like they had like when Funimation was doing, the that I forgot what they called it, but it was the Super Value Edition.
Save edition.
Yeah, the Save Edition.
Yeah.
And
Which I've gotten a couple of those.
Oh, I got a bunch of those.
But I remember their ad campaign for that stuff was like, look how much money you're saving and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, okay, I don't have the problem with price down releases and all that. Price down reissues of anime. That's not what I have a problem with. This whole like, you're gonna buy it now, right? Because look how cheap it is, right? You're gonna buy it.
To be fair, their business is to sell you shit. So
I know
I
that,
mean,
this
but-
whole like guilt trip into like you'll buy it now because look how cheap it is.
I don't even think that's a guilt trip. That's
No.
like saying, hey, we've dropped the price on this.
It's in the bargain bin now.
Yeah, exactly. We dropped the price on this down as low as we possibly can. That now,
Which means the people who
now
made
anyone
it,
for whom it was prohibitive can now purchase it.
Right, because quite honestly, most of the time when I bought any of those cheaper editions, it wasn't because I was being cheap. It was because I had other priorities at the time.
I mean, and hell,
right.
well, hell, I double dipped on the first Strike Witches.
Yeah, I mean, like
I still have the first DVD set.
Some people,
Now I also have the save edition.
yeah.
all the Gundam stuff. I'm upgrading it from DVD to Blu-ray now. And that's, I mean, I'm not usually one who does double dip except for things I'm really, really into.
But my point is, the people who are, and it's not even like the save edition, it's like, look at like Aniplex releases.
Oh yeah.
The people who are buying that stuff are the people who were going to buy that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what price it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I hate to say it, but it really is dangling the carrot to where it's just kind of like, it's like, you want the carrot, right? You want the carrot, right? It's like, and they're gonna follow you however high you like pull it up, you know.
The Otaku Coin idea, it kind of sounds to me like it would work just as like a social media gaming sort of thing, where like you collect Otaku Coins and then you use them to buy your virtual waifu or something, and people would get competitive about who had the most, Rin Tosaka.
See, somebody needs to do that.
Yeah, see, that's not even a bad idea. It's just when you're trying to use it as a substitute for like spending actual money, it's like, wait, I'm confused.
So, somehow we can like engineer this to be like a new form of Pogs.
I mean, like, just like the gamification.
People just have it like in their pocket, some like loose change, and they'll go up to like the vending machine and just be like, ah, crap. I accidentally threw away my my waifu coin, to try to buy a freaking thing of Cheez-Its or.
But I was just gonna try to say, like, I can see the appeal of like if you shotgun an anime and then you get like 5 Otaku Coins and you think, oh, I didn't just totally waste my evening. I just got Otaku Coins and I can spend them on something. Yeah, like that.
I got a Otaku box. Yeah,
that aspect of it works. It just shouldn't be as a replacement for like purchasing things.
It's like what are the Otaku Coins versus the yen right now?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Even as a unit of exchange, if it's generated each time you watch an anime, then it's inevitably going to be worthless eventually. And in very, very short order too, given how many people are watching anime now.
Right. And plus, I just don't believe they're going to be able to, especially like you said, if they got a bunch of people on this, that they're going to be able to dole them out in a timely, organized fashion. Don't you think this is just going to be kind of a mess?
Well, I think it'll run if all remains like everything remaining equal. I think it'll run very smoothly for about 6 months, and then everyone will drop off.
And then it's like, oh, I got Otaku Coins. It's like, yeah, I too have a 3D printer.
Listen, I actually have a 3D printer. Shut up. But I'm saying,
I thought
Lucky.
the money was only virtual, right?
well, yeah, it's virtual. It's cryptocurrency, so it's digital currency. But the thing is, unless there's some way to limit the supply, it will eventually become worthless.
Right, exactly. And then it becomes Tales of the cryptocurrency.
And then it
Tales from
becomes
the
Dogecoin.
Tales from the cryptocurrency.
Okay, so I think we've
Made no mistake.
concluded.
I'm no crypto expert, but
years from now, remember the Otaku Coin?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that was a dumb idea.
But so jumping off of that, we're going to talk about actually supporting the anime industry in 2018.
Sorcery.
And first things first, I feel a need to define the anime industry just so people know how the shit works.
You mean watching Avatar isn't supporting the anime industry?
So quick
You mean
rundown, because
buying price down visuals
Funko Pops
from like a decade ago that actually doesn't support.
well,
shit.
here's the thing, VZ. I'm gonna get to that in this very short explanation. So let's make an anime. What do we need to make an anime? We need a production committee. So a collection of companies that invest money to create the anime. Big point. Without this, anime doesn't get made.
We need to have
So
4 to 5 girls plus noun equals show.
That's sort of a
where does
different.
the studio come in? That's what the production committee determines, VZ.
Oh
So,
no, not JC
what is-
Steph.
Where does the studio come in? Well, the production committee gives the studio a budget and says,
This is
"Go
me
make this
speaking.
anime," and
This is
the
me-
studio doesn't really have much say.
JC Staff is the Millhouse of anime. I just realized that.
Oh, come on.
Why-
That,
I don't get it. Why does everyone shit on JC Staff?
It's like,
no, they're not the Millhouse.
Hits.
JC Staff is good sometimes.
JC
I
Staff
want
makes
people to
food
stop.
wars. I like food
I
wars.
want people to stop fronting on JC Staff because they've made some hits. Don't act like they
Seriously.
haven't made hits.
Yeah, seriously. Although I will say they're kind of like the they always remind the less hit version of Zebek, whatever the fuck it's called.
yeah, Zebik.
Yeah,
It's pronounced Zebek.
Apparently, yeah. Which for the longest time I didn't know that.
I have not watched the Zebik show since Triage X. That was the last Zebik show.
Yeah, continuing on with the explanation.
Okay.
So you're going to find that most of the money goes back to the production committee because they put up all the money to make the anime, and
Don't
they
want
have
the
the most to
capital.
lose. You'll find that the studios often split the video sales between themselves and whatever video producer, video distributor is on the production committee. You'll find that oftentimes the studios will also split the merchandise sales with the merchandise that's on the committee. And so one big point that a lot of people don't get, and this is where you come in, VZ, with the 10-year-old anime thing. Anime takes a very long time to make back its money, generally.
Yeah, it's unless it takes off like a rocket.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, especially with older, say, English releases, international releases. Once a certain threshold has been passed, then the studio actually starts getting royalties. So
Right,
by
be-
buying that 10-year-old anime, you may very well actually be supporting the studio, which is what a lot of people talk about when they say supporting the anime industry, but realistically, they're not seeing the big picture.
True, but I also think
Harmful.
those buying, as far as what really sells the show is buying those like releases, like those Japanese releases when they come out, like like the 2 to 3 episodes per volume. Although here's an interesting thing I noticed because
What I'm saying is that that might be good in the short term, but 10 years later, the show could still make its money back just
right,
by
long
just by
sustained
auxiliary
growth.
sales and exactly.
Well,
So I'm saying it doesn't. You don't need to be right there on it. It can be a slow burn, and it often is a slow burn.
Wait, I want to get to a point that because I look at CG Japan for the releases of like whatever the new season is, and I know something interesting about some of the shows this season. That they're putting like instead of like 2 episodes, which would be like 6 volumes, because they're 12 episodes.
Right.
They're doing like some of these shows in like 4 episodes in 3 volumes or 6 episodes in 2 volumes.
What the hell was that?
And maybe they're modernizing their.
It's still
DVD.
over $100.
Oh, certainly.
That's not the point.
Point is that maybe they're modernizing their DVD distribution tactics.
Well, the reason it was like that to begin with is because Japan is it's always been that way. And they're very slow to change any kind of, any kind of model like that, especially if it's still working.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, we've explained why the anime pricing is the way it is because it's a holdover from the rental pricing,
right,
from the 80s. Because
hey, you want a laser disc? They're big and they're big and they're kind of cool and sort of they're big,
Well, back when the rental shops, people would buy. Were a very small but dedicated group of people willing to buy the show at the rental price.
They just kept renting it and then making dojins. That's not a joke. They probably really did do that. The people that like go to comic market and try to peddle their wares and whatnot. That I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually pretty common.
But I think one thing confusing, especially people here, is people think that the amount of fans in Japan equals the number of sales equals the number of fans.
No. There's a very big disparity there.
Yeah, because remember Justin Savakis was saying, "Oh, these shows they're very niche. They sell so low." It's like, no, you idiot. That's
people only buy the stuff. People buy the stuff they're really into. The other stuff just kind of falls by the wayside. It's like if you see a television show you like, but just kind of like it okay.
I doubt everyone that's into Idolmaster in Japan.
You don't go out and buy the set. You just watch it, and then when it's over, you move on.
Yeah, unless it's
that's how anime fans are. It's too expensive to buy every little thing.
They probably collect 1 or 2 shows a year.
I mean, unless you're like the one guy that was from, I don't know where it was, like Saudi Arabia or Iran or somewhere, that showed up at this con with the fucking briefcase.
Bodyguards.
Yeah. Like at first people were looking at him like I guess they thought he was part of like the cosplayers or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he wasn't. He was just there to buy fucking porn. I mean, it looked weird because he's like there's like these 4 people around him just like at all times, and he's just like sitting there and he opens this briefcase. It's like, what's going on here? This looks like a drug deal.
The things you can do with oil money. I
guess. I mean,
so this is the problem with Otaku Coin. You can't take a briefcase full of Otaku Coin to Comic Kit and buy lots of porn with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Like how's it gonna work?
Like, hi, I'm from OPEC. Shit. That's funny. No, seriously though, that was weird. I mean, like, I don't even know if that's the weirdest thing I've ever even seen at a con either.
And like he was there 2 years in a row.
That's the other.
Obviously, he's a regular.
Yeah. It wasn't just some random thing. Obviously not, because that's not something you just randomly show up for. I don't think. I mean, really, it's not like, oh, there's a Six Flags nearby.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on this weekend? Comic market? That sounds wholesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds. Yeah, bring the kids and. Oh, this must be the Yowie Day. But no.
But yeah. So.
Go ahead.
What people need, and this is something I've noticed a lot of fans talking about supporting the anime industry don't seem to recognize what people.
Yeah.
How to put this?
I think a lot of people are ignoring how important auxiliary things are in terms of like merchandise and whatnot.
Well, that's one thing, but what I'm saying is, at some point the production committee needs to get paid.
Yeah, I mean they don't.
Otherwise, the entire infrastructure just collapses.
Right, because
I think the animators are the ones that need to be paid.
Well, that's true.
Well, here's the thing, VZ. The production committee takes their money first. And I get a lot of people are upset about that, but what are you going to do?
Well, they're the ones who fork up the capital.
If you want to get money, yeah. Number one, they're the ones who put up all the capital to make the show in the first place.
Yeah.
So
yes, they're expecting to at least get it back. I mean,
yeah. I'm sorry that investors want to make the money back.
I'm sorry people need to pay for things to be made. But.
And that's number one. Number two, if we want to make sure any money gets the animators, then we need to fucking inundate the industry with money. And yeah, it's
also, well, you don't see
the production committees are going to take a significant chunk of it. Yes, let's accept that and continue putting money into the industry so the animators can get some.
Right.
Yes. Some people seem to have this view that if they just somehow wave a magic wand, money will stop going from the production committee and to the production committee, and it'll just go to the animators, and it'll be like, yeah, okay, maybe if you could somehow be a magical girl and wave a magic wand and make that happen, that would be nice. But that's never going to happen. So stop thinking about it.
And that's
I don't think
that's my problem with this, like stuff like this Otaku Coin thing, or stuff like there was this whole big thing a while back where they're financing Little Witch Academia through Kickstarter. This is going to be the future.
Well, I mean, and I understand that, but at the same time, I know people don't like this, and there's a lot of people who don't agree with this theory or that this even works. But the way the anime industry works with money, would you say it really is the trickle down?
It's the trickle down, and also a lot of these are the same people who complain about how by committee anime is created.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
it's not like they don't know,
or maybe they're pretending they don't know. I don't know.
It's stupid or liar. So you got this entire mentality where we have to somehow stop money getting to the production committees, not understanding that the production committees are the people who hire the studios to make the stuff.
They're financing.
So if none of these companies have any money, where is the money going to come from?
If they're not making it back, they're sure as fuck not going to put it up for more.
So all of a sudden, JC Staff's not making all this anime anymore because none of these studios have any money to pay them.
Enough with JC Staff already.
I don't hate JC Staff at all.
Zebek isn't making money anymore because none of these companies that finance all this stuff have any money, because everyone thought it would be a good idea to take from them and give to the studios. Well, then guess what? What the studio is going to do now?
Well, this is when this is like how people like to bring up like Kiwani, how they do things a little differently.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
Bring
and
up
I don't think-
Kiwani, one of the few studios that has enough clout to sit on their own production committees.
Yeah.
So let's bring up the exception and
Not the
pretend
rule.
like it's the rule.
Well, I was just saying, because you notice how Kiwani shows, with a few exceptions,
and they also make a lot less than, say, JC Staff
well
in terms of actual products.
That's because they basically choose what they work on. Because
Not only do
they make we talk about studios making anime. They make anime from the beginning to the end.
Well, not just that, but they're very selective in terms of. You can tell that's why their shows look so good, is because they put everything they can into one show instead of stretching it thin over like 4 or 5.
Yeah, they only make one show a year. Plus, they've also been branching off into movies.
Plus, their people are really good.
Well, yeah, clearly, just look at the work.
But I wanted to get to, notice how, with the few exceptions, a lot of their shows don't get merchandise.
Yeah, that is kind of a peculiar thing with them. They're one of the few where their shows really are based more on the actual show itself in terms of sales, rather than like shirts and toys and things like that.
It's like, other stuff.
They still exist. How many Haruhi things have you seen?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've been seeing some Maid Dragon stuff.
True.
Yeah. Which I had to point one to Drawing Girl, because I knew she was going to pre-order.
My hypothesis is that they just don't need to partner with merchandise production committee, because they don't need to make money back that way, because they're sitting on their own production committee. They invested their own money, so they're gonna get money from every single possible revenue stream and they're gonna get a lot more of it because they're on the production committee.
Yeah, apparently Violent Evergarden is on Netflix also, from what I've
not
heard.
in the U.S. territory though.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't have Netflix, unfortunately.
Neither do I.
Just never bothered with it, and now that they're starting to put anime on there, it's like, oh shit.
Well, you still can subscribe to Netflix. It's not like you missed your opportunity.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where, like, well, we'll see. I'll just go with that.
I hate to, but we'll be done by 11ish, right, Anubis?
I have no idea.
All right, because I have 50% power on here.
But continue.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We've been talking the whole time and making bad jokes.
Well, I was just thinking in terms of supporting the industry. I've been a subscriber to Crunchyroll pretty much ever since they rolled it out in like late 2009, 2010. So I think,
first season of Strike Witches was actually was released from them.
Yep.
Yeah, 2008. That was one of their first things.
Okay, but in any case, I've been a Crunchyroll subscriber for years. So say what you want about Crunchyroll. I do feel like I'm supporting the industry because I actually pay for the international streaming. The companies do get that money. That's good. But then you have Crunchyroll doing things like, the Crunchyroll Awards and doing all this obnoxious branding stuff. And it's like, it puts me in a difficult position because it's kind of like, all right, Crunchyroll is convenient. I like the service.
Was it the Crunchyroll Awards? And it's like, doesn't have Blend S in it. I'm like,
VZ. I hate to tell you this, that is not the problem with the Crunchyroll Awards.
Yeah,
there are many problems. That's not it.
Far from the worst problem.
The problem is your money is going to an anti-Donald Trump super PAC. No. I'm kidding. I don't know. Like, I'm making that up.
I want to continue supporting the industry in this way because I'm not really a merchandise buyer. My husband is. I'm not the one who buys figures. He does. But Crunchyroll is the thing I do. But it's like, okay, so what are my choices here? I can stop giving money to Crunchyroll and stop supporting the industry, or I can keep giving money to them and basically support them doing these stupid things that I think are actually harmful to the fandom. So harmful to me ultimately. So it puts me in a real
over a barrel kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
It's kind of like if you had like a Gmail account and now you don't like them anymore, but you don't want to change it because you've been there for years.
Well, I'm more of the pirate shows, and then if I like them, buy the Blu-ray release. That's how I support it.
I mean,
I still want to support the thing. I just buy the figures. That's my motto. That's my model.
I'm 100% cool with the whole Western streaming outlets thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm pumped about that. I just wish they would stop. I wish Crunchyroll would stop trying to be everything to everybody.
Yeah, the politicization of some of this crap is just completely out of place.
It's not even the politicization, even though that's bad, but even like stepping back before that. Awards. Why do we need Crunchyroll Expo? Like there.
Yeah.
I feel like in like
don't you guys show up at freaking cons anyway?
But I feel like in 2079 we're gonna be in this cyberpunk dystopia, and Crunchyroll is gonna be the mega corporation.
Oh yeah. They'll be Genom,
like running everyone's lives.
And I
have the Crunchyroll private military.
The Crunchyroll private military, and it's all nothing but like those guys we were talking about earlier with their mouths open. They're all just sitting there with like they don't have guns because they don't believe in guns, but they got, so they actually have, I don't know, freaking like LPs they throw at you. I don't know.
What a waste of good vinyl.
Yeah.
With Crunchyroll, it just seems like, damn, I'm doing that thing where I'm drawing a total blank. I haven't been on a podcast in too long. I'm bad at this now. But
you're fine.
Just keep in mind, one of them gave a eulogy to Castro when he died.
Yeah,
that's also a problem for me.
I mean, like at what point was that ever a good idea? I mean, it's a bad idea anyway, just because he was a shitbag of a person.
Oh, okay. I remember now. No, wait, I just lost it. Okay, there's clearly there's something like legit wrong with me.
They don't need guns; they've got gums.
But that's another thing about like Crunchyroll in particular. Like Karen said, they're supporting a lot of things that are pretty like continually harmful to the anime community. Like, why do Crunchyroll writers need to also be writing for Anifem?
And that's something, you know what's interesting
or the cushy relationship they have with him. That's complete. I mean, it's they say there's no, this doesn't reflect, but it does.
Well, you say it, and you also, because I don't know if you guys get this feeling too, but I get the feeling that they wouldn't if Task Force MOE was big, they wouldn't similarly partner with Task Force.
No, because it doesn't ideologically align with their personal beliefs.
But what's interesting is when Anifem first came out, Miles kind of went on that huge Twitter PR tour when he was like, "There is no real collaboration between Anifem and Crunchyroll. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain." Blah blah blah.
Oh God,
blah.
Miles, he's
well, it's just like
happens.
It's like that was the Russian collusion thing of the time. Yeah, it's like
So that happened, but the argument that he was making, which I think was fair, was that the only thing that was really going on is they had freelancers who happened to work for both sites. And it's like, yeah, you may not like the fact that they are ideologically aligned, but there's also nothing really wrong with the fact that they both happen to have a couple of freelancers in common. Like it kind of was a silly thing to get upset about. But now you have Peter Fobian, who's a bigwig at Anifem. I think he's the second in command kind of behind Amelia Cook, and he's like director of like features editor at Crunchyroll or something like that. So it's kind of like the sort of nightmare scenario where Crunchyroll became infected has happened, and it seems like I'm the only one that noticed.
Well, it's interesting you point that out because not just the infection, yeah, but I had something and I totally lost it.
I'm sorry, whatever I have is neurological and catching over Google Hangouts.
Speaking about infections.
Yeah, like, shit. memory hole. You mentioned the forbidden Crunchyroll connection.
But that's the exact thing, is like now it's no longer just freelancers.
Okay,
So
I remember what I was going to say. The thing is it wouldn't be treated the same way if one of these same freelancers wrote for Breitbart or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it wouldn't. Which is where my problem with it comes in more than anything else.
It
Because
would be another letter like that long
that tells them to kiss their job goodbye.
No, I mean it would be like they would write a letter like the A&N guy wrote, basically saying like we are not ideologically aligned with this freelancer of ours who writes blah blah blah. While he is only a freelancer, we do not want him reflecting. He does reflect the company to some extent. Therefore, we are terminating the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
A bunch of like legalese level bullshit.
So yeah, what you said.
I mean, just from my observation, it wouldn't play out that way, the same way. And again, this whole Palmer thing is exactly the point, the proof that it won't. It's like, where I stand. It's like, well, yeah, we do. That's kind of a problem. Why do we know that? We don't care. I mean, why does everybody know what your personal, pet peeves in politics are?
Well, it's like, and this is something small, but I feel like it's indicative of bigger things. I saw on Twitter the other day, Crunchyroll had tweeted, I think this was an old video because this was like either last year or the year before Anime Boston. Bernie Sanders was apparently there for some conference. Like he was in Boston for some conference and sort of walked in on this cosplay photo shoot battle, and he was in the background of that picture, and everyone was making a big hype about it. And then that was that Crunchyroll video. It was like, hey, Bernie Sanders is here at the end. And I'm looking at this like, why should anyone care?
Beyond, unless he's there for anime crap.
If he's going to become an anime voice actor, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, if he had anything to do with anime, then it would be appropriate.
Well, maybe he just wanted 90% of the revenue.
He just wants some dojins.
See, Anubis got it.
But just getting back to what we were talking about before, so Crunchyroll has me over a barrel. Ha 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 ha. More things people can edit for fun and profit. But what do you do about it, really? I mean, I could theoretically just unsubscribe from Crunchyroll, but logically I'm not going to do that. It would create too much hassle for me.
Which is what Anubis was basically saying, why it's good that we're getting more of these. Like we're getting High Dive and all this stuff, and even Anime Strike is, even though they figured out, because the competition forces people to behave.
Well, here's the thing, and I say that it's a good thing. It would be a good thing if we had more competition, but Anime Strike just went down.
Bought the farm, yeah.
Like,
Also,
Netflix ain't doing shit. Daisuke's been dead for like a year or two.
Yeah, and I feel bad I didn't support Daisuke at the time. I don't know why I didn't.
So we're having all these things come up, and then they just can't compete. Can't compete with Crunchyroll. Like people were making a big deal about how Pop Team Epic it had a non-exclusive streaming license.
Well, it's
streaming on Netflix. It's streaming on Crunchyroll. It's streaming on High Dive, and it's streaming like everywhere else.
It's basically,
and I'm like, in what scenario does this not only help Crunchyroll?
Well, exactly.
They have everything, they have everything except other exclusives. So everyone's already watching the shit on Crunchyroll, and they're only gonna watch it on another service if they're A, not subscribed to Crunchyroll, or B, if they have the same mentality I do, where it's okay, well, let's see if we can get some competition in there.
Right. Well, to continue,
those are two minuscule.
To continue on,
I feel like the subscribers to Crunchyroll need to also be the ones to voice their complaints.
Well, not just that, but since you mentioned it, though, one of the God damn it, I was trying to say something the entire time, and just go on.
I'm so sorry.
Nah.
No,
I feel to blame.
Well, no.
And going off of that, because this is sort of the same thing on a much higher level that's happening with okay, you go K-Gods, because I'm about to jump in on something.
Isn't this really pretty much the same thing as the Twitter versus Minds or Gab thing? Pretty much, in the sense that, yeah, you can go to these other things, but it has such a monopoly that unless they fuck up in the extreme.
To a certain extent, but here's the thing. There are things Crunchyroll's not doing that other services could do. And all they're really trying to do right now is be, hey, we have anime too. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work when Crunchyroll already has such a big market share in this industry. It's like, sure, High Dive's doing, and don't get me wrong, High Dive's doing some interesting stuff, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to compete with Crunchyroll because they already have such a huge market share in this industry.
Yeah, but basically the answer to what do you do if you're pissed off about Crunchyroll is support High Dive, because that's the only thing you can do right now.
Pretty much, which is a pretty piss poor situation considering High Dive doesn't have the a comparable catalog and is just on the come up. And especially considering I just recently found this out. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but do you know how Crunchyroll, I don't want to say this is how they got where they are, but they had venture capital infusion. Did you know that?
I heard something about it, but I didn't really follow up on it at all.
Yeah, this was while they were still like not legit. This was basically the springboard to them becoming legit. They had I forgot how much it was. Give me a second.
All right.
Because I was researching, because basically what happened was I was researching the Faku story, like how Faku went legit. Similar to Crunchyroll, and I found out it's not really all that similar to how Crunchyroll. So yeah, they had a $4.05 million investment from a venture capital firm called Venrock. So they had help. So it's not like High Dive can bootstrap their way to
right,
competing.
and this wasn't just widely known. I don't think either.
Wait, no, repeat that, K guys. I didn't hear you.
I said I don't think that information is even widely known that they had help either.
Well, it's not widely known today, but it was a big ANN. Got 122 comments.
Yeah, because I heard something about it, but even until you just said something, I didn't remember.
So people don't understand this, I guess, which is fine. But my point is, how is High Dive supposed to compete with that, unless they really go hard on doing something Crunchyroll's not doing and put a lot of marketing into it,
and or have maybe perhaps go ahead.
Maybe they're courting venture capitalists of their own.
I was actually going to say, well, maybe they're actually. Yeah, maybe they're actually looking around, say, I don't know, in Japan or something, for people that would like to put some of that toward their organization. I
wouldn't even look in Japan. There's plenty of venture capital firms over here. It's like, hey, listen, you know that site Crunchyroll? It's got like 85 trillion users. And we have something similar, but it's better. And here's the way it's better. Give us some money because you're going to make a whole lot of money back.
Well, here's the thing to me is that the way High Dive can be better than Crunchyroll would actually be doing less. Like, stop trying to put all their branding shit on everything. But it's kind of like, how do you sell that to an outside investor? That, well, the thing that we're going to do better than Crunchyroll is we're not going to be intrusive pains in the ass, you know? That's not really...
How do you sell that?
Well, I mean, hey, if you have a really smart venture capital firm, hey, maybe that's what you tell them. Hey, tell them, okay, we're competing with this industry. Like, here's what they're doing, and it's kind of pissing people off. We're gonna do all this shit that's better than what they're doing, and none of this shit they're doing that's pissing people off.
So, and then they would point out to the one douchebag, some of the douchebags that were pulling some of the crap for Funimation, and go, this is what we're not going to do.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to jump into, is this Crunchyroll situation is similar to what's going on with Funimation. And Funimation is one that I'm not buying anything from them until I see a commitment for better dub quality.
I mean, that really was kind of the last straw.
Again, once it's happenstance, twice as coincidence, 3 times enemy action. So and the thing about Funimation is they got plenty of titles that I really want. Like if I got
Like
that
Keijo.
commitment, I'd go out and buy it tomorrow. Keijo bought. Contact Collection bought.
The only reason I don't
Ghost
actually
of Tsushima standalone complex. Do they have standalone complex, right?
do they? I don't. I mean, I know Bandai used to have it, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Standalone complex bought. Ava 2.2 bought. Ava 3.3 bought. It's a lot of stuff I'd like to get, but they're
Arnold says,
doing some stuff that's harmful to the anime community, so I'm not supporting them. And I'm sorry that my money's not going to go to the people who made the Contact Collection anime. But you know what? This fucking Shimakaze figure.
in my opinion, there should be a service for anime that works like iTunes, where you can digitally purchase anime and it'll be yours. They actually did have.
Why is nobody doing that?
I'm surprised nobody
they
has.
had anime on iTunes one point.
Okay, I have a dumb question to ask though. Can't you actually buy some anime through iTunes? Like some of the.
They used to have, yeah.
Okay, that was because she's mentioned this idea before, and I always wondered, wait, can't you kind of sort of already do that? It's just you can only do it with very limited titles. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I imagine it would probably just be like more mainstream ones too. I can't see like you go on there and go, oh, Chubra's on here.
Chubra.
Yeah, I mean,
Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
I sure want that Kiss Sis. What are you downloading? Kiss Sis.
What are you downloading? I can't believe my sister is this cute.
Great Forestry in the
just telling that to somebody like that doesn't know anything about anime.
But yeah, Great Forestry in the ARC. Steam has anime on it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can't do it.
Yeah,
So
he says
I'm just curious why no company,
Boys B, and Piano.
Yeah, I'm just going to be curious why no company is trying to do that outside of an established platform like iTunes or Steam.
Probably because there's a lot of legal stuff there. I have a feeling
that too. They have to convince the Japanese companies that it's a viable way.
First they got to convince somebody over here that would be willing to work with them, and then they got to convince them over there.
Honestly, I think it's a toss up between who's going to be harder to convince, the West or the Japanese. Because here, the thing with going back to the Faku story, all Jacob had to do was ask.
Right.
Hey, we don't want to have DRM. They said sure. So all he had to do was ask. Maybe the business in like actual anime is a bit more stringent with that sort of thing. Anyone asked is my question.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where there's sort of a hole there. Like, somebody could just easily fill in that. As long as they had the resources, of course.
Well, yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're not going to pick up Kenji 6-pack from freaking like Milwaukee that's just like, oh, there's this anime thing that I kind of like. And
Kenji 6, what are we talking about?
That's the Japanese version of Joe 6-pack.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a stupid joke we've got running. I don't know. I don't remember because we couldn't think of a better word that for 6-pack, so we just kept that.
Yeah.
That just makes me think of someone in a bar instead of watching sports.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're sitting there. They're sitting there.
6-pack.
Yeah, exactly. Just sitting there.
They're watching Keijo on TV.
Yeah.
That's appropriate for a sports bar.
Betting on whose ass is going to come out triumphant. I'm going for the what's her name?
The girl with the dog ass.
I can't remember her name. Silverish hair.
Miyuki or something like that. Mizuki. Miyuki.
No, I did. Did it start with an M? Man, I can't even remember. That's terrible. She was flat.
Yes, I know who you mean.
Was it like Miata or I can't remember. Damn it.
Sayaka Miyata.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. She was the one with the jujitsu background or whatever it was.
I like the one who could touch everybody's butts and then learn their techniques.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That freaking
And then did Gate of Babylon, but with
Butt foo.
yeah. The best thing was the names of some of the thing that cracked me up when that was showing was people who said it took itself too seriously.
it's like, what show are you watching? Holy crap!
Wait.
Butt cannon.
Yeah, or the butt guillotine, or titty hypnosis. I mean, did we watch the same show? Yeah, I that was just, to me, that was just kind of like a hand wave type thing to try to dismiss being able to actually review it or whatever. It's like, look, just don't, if you don't want to watch it, just don't watch it.
It's all make up this excuse that makes no sense.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It takes itself too seriously. Excuse me. Like this show where people are using their tatas in their butt as Dragon Ball Z battle attacks on top of a thing, not to fall in the water. It takes itself too seriously. Okay.
But yeah, that's my dilemma, and I completely understand where you're coming from, Karen, because I'm really super dubious about all this stuff Crunchyroll's doing, and it's not really a viable competitor, and it kind of don't. And also Crunchyroll with the entire partnership with Funimation, something I don't like either. So, so it's a problem. Which, to be fair, is another reason I buy a lot of fucking anime figures. So, but the issue is how's the normal person supposed to support the anime industry, quote unquote, especially given that Crunchyroll's doing what Crunchyroll's doing and Funimation's doing what Funimation's doing. Yeah,
there's a lot of kind of dubious navigating you kind of have to do. And like the thing is most people don't want to go through all that crap. They don't want to be like, oh, this person's pulling this bullshit, or this company's doing that. I mean, there's a lot to keep track of.
They just want to watch anime.
But people just want to watch a fucking show. Or it's like, hey, remember that this person, I mean, except we all admit we hate Harmony Gold, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody that likes Harmony Gold except for Harmony Gold.
It's an entire different issue.
I mean, like that for example, yeah, that's one I don't think anybody actually likes them except for them.
Well, not even the Japanese studios they were working with, like Harmony Gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. We here at NTR Radio do not endorse Harmony Gold. I think I speak for everybody. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, besides buying, all this sort of extra merchandise like figures, art books, and CDs and things like that, it really is kind of dicey,
right?
And there's no real surefire, easy answer for that.
A good point here in the RFC. We haven't yet figured out how to fully integrate in the digital internet and digital era. Old business models are out of date, yet where we can't just rely on DVD and Blu-ray sales anymore. So how do we deal with that now in the digital age?
Yeah, I mean, because the old models that were set up are largely not relevant anymore. I mean, they're really not. Same thing's true with music. A lot of the hey, we fork over a bunch of money into product, and then people download it and don't buy it, or so that it's kind of like the print industry in a way. It's in really bad shape.
Yeah, and those industries caught up.
Most of them were smart enough to realize that rather than just try to shoehorn this old model down everybody's throat, we have to change, or we're going to die.
Yeah.
The ones that refuse to do it are where Borders is now.
And to be fair, a lot of the anime industry is catching up to that paradigm in a timely fashion. It's just it's being led by Crunchyroll.
Right.
Which
and
to a lot of people isn't a problem, but to some people is. And it would be good if we had some sort of competition.
And this is a good point too, even though it's kind of tangentially related. Not a whole lot of people watch TV anymore. It's like, well, the people that do tend to be older.
Well, here's the thing. Anime never really got its revenue from TV anyway.
Well, right. That's why I said it was tangentially, like it wasn't really related. I'm referring to in general that there's a gap there where younger people are getting a lot of that same stuff from the internet, whereas older people are still that haven't really bought on to the whole technology thing yet. And I know a few of them that if you say you got some information from the internet, they're suspicious of it, like everybody there's like a liar or a scammer or something. And you can't have that mentality, and be able to navigate the internet really. Because, well, you won't believe anything you see. Even if it's true. But that's weird to me because I came across that not that long ago where, they'll believe something that's on CNN, Fox, or whatever, but something somebody said on the internet, of independent investigation or whatever is total bullshit. And it's just like, well, that's funny to me because these big megacorps are no different than those in the sense that it's being filtered through their lens anyway.
What I'm saying is, even talking about the Japanese industry,
right?
Anime was never late night anime is never meant to be real big on TV.
No.
It's meant to
that's a
and it's meant to sell products.
That's a misconception. People think that shows like Kiss X Sis are like on like after school and people are just like gathered around to watch it and stuff. It's like, no, it was never like that.
1 a.m. because the TV network needs to fill a slot and the production committee needs to make some money, and
they forked over some money to put it in that slot.
Yeah,
What's
they
funny
do
is
that to
partner with some
promote a manga, or a light novel or a game, sell some figures and sell some discs.
I actually have 2 things I want to add. One is what?
Yeah. See, they forked down the thing for the slot, and then they partner with Musashi's boner pills. And
I was gonna say 2 things. One is one thing I've been noticing over the past few years that I've actually liked is that they've been releasing the manga to these shows in English at either before or around the same time or immediately after the show ends its airing here.
Oh yeah.
So there's been that they've been doing that, supporting it that way.
Unfortunately, we kind of lost Karen. I think her internet kind of crapped out on her.
Yeah.
Just so nobody's like on the audio is like, hey, where did she go? No, we didn't scare her off.
The other thing that I noticed, the other thing is that this kind of tells my age. Is even though a lot of these stuff I saw early on was OVAs, I didn't really know about the OVA as a format.
Oh, and how it works and is marketed and all that.
Yeah, I thought stuff like the Guyver, the OVA
was just on after school or
This is what Japanese people watch on TV.
This is what Japanese teenagers watch after they come home from junior high and
I thought Indie Guys was like a theatrical movie.
Yeah.
Japanese people seeing these movies.
Well, what's funny about that, and I know this is true for Europe, but the way it was marketed in England and stuff would actually have you believe that.
Yeah.
Because the way they marketed these, it's like, this is anime, and it would just all be like OVAs that are hyper violent and like or whatnot. And it's just like, no, that's really not. That's all home video stuff. I mean, Ranma Half is more closer to what you're looking at here.
Yeah, it's funny when Zach Berchi says, "Oh, you know, I'm surprised I don't see any references in modern anime to like those hyper violent OVAs," and it's like because those were like super niche back then. They were more popular here.
Yeah, interestingly enough, that's another thing. In the West, those actually gained a lot more probably prominence just because that was our perception of what this was.
Right.
It was, but it was also because that stuff came out at the exact. You know, there's like certain things have a timing.
Yeah, it's like everybody was watching your Die Hards and things like that anyway.
That stuff. Well, not just that, but like I'm talking about, like specifically, my perception was that people were getting really jaded with how Western cartoons were man. We gotta have the drug episode and all that. And meanwhile, where's some cool, like, can we have something a little bit more mature? That's, you know, and of course mature is like blood and violence, and there you go. Anime just fit right there as a, you know,
right. Yeah, it really was sort of the zeitgeist.
Yeah, it came right at that exact time, that early 90s.
Right. And some interesting things from the chat. The NTR curse got to Karen. You might want to rephrase that. Just saying. Let's see here. Devilman Crybaby basically is a modern hyperviolent OVA, from what I've heard. And given Gona Guy's penchant for that sort of thing, does that really surprise anybody? I mean, like, when you think of Gona Guy, what's the first thing you think of? I think of like these really kind of gritty sort of like, and even that's probably not true. I mean, if you watch the original Mazinger Z or Cutie Honey,
well, gritty, but also like hyper, well, like also like sexual.
Yeah, I mean, it just strikes me as Gona Guy's like, I'm taking everything I liked when I was 16 and making it into an anime. And that's basically how he approaches making anything. It's like, oh, it's got to have action, it's got to have sex and blood and explosions and, you know, crazy epileptic visual cues and that sort of thing. And these
bird monster, but the bird monster is gonna have titties.
Yeah, like something straight out of like those old magazines, not magazines, old comics that weren't really the mainstream ones. They're kind of those. I'm trying to think of who published them, but they would be like that. They'd have like griffin monsters or something, and their breasts are exposed. And
right.
I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't know any particular companies or whatever. Like the same kind of mentality that went into making like the heavy metal movie and things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of like, oh, we really like Frank Frazetta, you know?
Yeah. I think that was pulp stuff.
Yeah, to an extent, but we'll get to that in another discussion.
All right.
So going back to supporting the anime industry.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a difficult dilemma for people who aren't insane and buying fucking $150 anime figures.
Or people importing this stuff directly from Japan.
Yeah, you know, insane people.
Hey! Now we know people like that.
What? It's not a knock on people. I'm saying
you said they were insane. Come on.
There's insane in a good way.
Okay, like
how
insane in the memory.
Like how I think Jacob Grady's insane because he just did all this Faku stuff.
Oh yeah.
But if you're not the kind of person to buy, to import anime or spend $150 a pop on anime figures, your options are
limited
disc releases, and only some disc releases.
Yeah, I mean that Aniplex will get you.
Because you're not buying Aniplex releases, and like Crunchyroll and High Dive and stuff like that.
Can we get back to the point where
it's also limited?
Can we get back to the point where we all just knew and assumed that anime is overly expensive? Like that used to be a thing where Anime Nation even had that as a slogan. Anime drugs would be cheaper. It was a T-shirt, for fuck's sake.
Not anymore.
And everybody just accepted that.
Because a whole bunch of people, and not to shit on these people, but a whole bunch of people have gotten into the kind of to shit on these people. A whole bunch of people have gotten into the fandom and have started treating anime like it's the same sort of
like Archer or something.
Yeah, the same sort of consumable, disposable entertainment that we get over here.
Which, by the way, I'm not shitting on Archer.
Yeah, not shit on Archer.
I actually do like Archer, so
it's sort of a testament to how far anime has come in the West that people are treating it that way. But at the same time, it's
poisonous to the way it works.
Yeah, it's not the way that works. And there's there's quite a few organizations that are kind of trying to change that dynamic with regards to the way anime works. And
right.
I don't think many of them have gotten very far. My thing is, is that or is that not going to increase the degree to which Westerners can support anime? Because I don't think it is. I think it's a particular kind of mentality that you need to have in order to want to support this stuff to that degree. And if you want to, you're already buying anime figures and you're already buying expensive disc releases and whatnot. There's only a few very particularly lazy people, and there's a couple people I have in mind when I say this. I'm not going to mention who, but there's a couple very particularly lazy people who say, okay, all I want is to buy the anime. So is there a way I can do, and I don't want the disc release because for some reason I want the anime, but I don't want it on disc. Is there a way I could just funnel money to the studio to support them?
yeah, like the thing where like they're trying to, the reason you said funnel, and that just reminded me of sort of the thing where traders were funneling money to the Viet Cong. It just reminded me of that, like where it's like, oh hey, we could try to funnel money to the Japanese committee companies, and
it's like, I don't want the product. All I want to do is support it. All I want to do is show my support and reward.
I don't want the pizza. Money. I just want to give money to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, wait, what?
It's like if they're not making a product you want, don't buy the product.
It's very strange. Like, and when you put it in a term like that, it makes even less sense. It's like, wait a minute, you want to give them money, but you don't want to buy the thing. Well, why don't you just send them money in a paper in an envelope? I mean,
I've heard that argument. All right, guys, listen. I think we got to end this now because
we're having more technical issues.
Yeah, so we really got to
This is getting kind of dicey here.
All right, that's the show.
Unfortunately, it does kind of have to end now because of some situations.
The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is ntrradio.net. Check out vzmk2 more mekagatai.wordpress.com for VZ stuff at yashike.moe. Check out the Bakugaijin Show and Otaku Midnight because both those are really good. Hit up shinikiba.moe for all your half-naked anime girl figures. Support the industry by buying anime girl figures. In 2015, the anime figure market was an order of magnitude more than the disc release market. So there's that.
We would try to pimp Karen's site and stuff, but she's gone.
Check out Karen's stuff at the Otaku Sphere. I think that's .net.
Okay.
Just type Otaku Sphere into the thing, and you'll probably be able to find it.
1 second, let me do this in real time so I don't get it wrong. Otaku Sphere. It's Otaku Sphere.
Yeah,
Otakusphere.com
a blog
is
for
Karen's
stuff.
website.
There's also a podcast there. I haven't listened to it yet, but you should probably do so anyway. I'm sure it's good.
Do check that out. I don't say often enough that NTR Radio is a production of She's Lost Control Media, so I just said that. I'm Tom Forster Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though we get Otaku Coin every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.